As we begin Ruth 1:13, we will read up to the first Zakaph. Halahain tisaberna ad asher yigdalu. Will you therefore wait until when they will become great? And you remember that Naomi is speaking to her daughters-in-law, urging them to go back to their homeland. The verse begins with halahain. You notice on lahain, which means therefore, lahain we only see twice here in Ruth. It occurs very, very little in the Hebrew Bible. But on the front end of lahain, you see the interrogative hey. And that tips us off that Naomi is asking a question. We know that this hey is not the definite article because the definite article will not be pointed with a composite schwa like we see here. And since lahain begins with a lamed, the definite article would have put a dagesh forte in the lamed. But again, the pointing clearly indicates we have an interrogative hey. Our verb, we have a PL. It's an imperfect. It says second feminine plural, and our root is savar. This root only occurs in the PL. And if you see my post from the past on the PL, normally the PL has an intensive notion to it. But this root only occurs in the PL, and when a verb only occurs in the PL, it usually loses that intensive notion. So yeah, I would not add any intensiveness to this. Here we have an imperfect, a nice use of the future. Naomi is talking about sons that she might have, a hypothetical situation, and therefore, will you wait if I have them? So this is a nice use of the future here. We have ad asher, until when. When you have two particles put together like this, your lexicons are very helpful in helping kind of how do you translate them? How are they being used? Again, I like to use Brown Driver Brig or BDB. There are also other really good lexicons. Just out of personal preference, I use BDB. I like the articles about the verbs and particles and things like that. I know it's a little outdated, but I still think it's very useful. And since it's easy to get your hands on, other lexicons are more expensive. I like to use it because it's more accessible to students and readers of the Hebrew Bible. But when ad asher is put together like this, it's usually, you can translate it until when, or until which. And then we have yigdalu. In our verb here, yigdalu, we have a call imperfect, and it's a third masculine plural of gadol, gimel daled lamed. Now, what we would have expected, because you have a shurik at the end of the verb, I would have expected reduction here under the second root letter, but I believe here we have a pausal form. Typically you would have seen under the Athnach, but I think it's falling, that Zakaph is causing some lengthening here of the thematic vowels. So instead of a vocal schwa, which we would expect, we see the komets. But again, the imperfect is being used here because it's indicating future time. So will you wait when the sons or my sons are eventually born until they will become great? So it's speaking about something in the future. Well, this will conclude this video, and we will continue with Ruth 1:13 later on.